I know you.
Let's talk about the film A Different Man, which is the latest film from director Aaron Schimberg, and this film stars Sebastian Stan, Renate Reinsve, and Adam Pearson. I saw this film at Fantastic Fest a couple of weeks ago, and let me tell you, I don't know what happened, but I feel like there wasn't enough sort of like marketing for this film because I didn't even know it was released already, and I would have released a review sooner. But this is a film in which you follow this guy who is sort of struggling with neurofibromatosis, which basically means his facial features get disfigured due to tumors and all of that. And this is the character of Edward, who is played by Sebastian Stan. Now, one of the things that I found so interesting about this film when I went to go watch it was that there was a Sebastian Stan double feature that night, in which we saw Sebastian Stan also in The Apprentice at Fantastic Fest. And seeing this movie and having seen The Apprentice at TIFF earlier, I was just thinking to myself, Sebastian Stan is the real deal. Like, I'm not kidding. I always thought Sebastian Stan was a great actor. I've always thought that he does a good job in films he's in, but after seeing these two films back to back, I am 100% sure Sebastian Stan's about to become a pretty huge actor in Hollywood. Like, he's already huge, right? But I think we're about to see him leading more films, and I'm excited for that because this film just showcases even more of that. I really love how this film sort of is a horror-esque type feel at the beginning with some body horror and all of that, and a very dark drama, and then it ultimately turns into a very dark comedy in its second half, and I'll get more into that a little bit into the video. Let's start off with this first half, in which we see that Edward is sort of living under a shadow. People don't want to look at him because of his disfigurement. Some people are flat out rude. He has his neighbor Renate who moves in, and she's a bit odd and quirky, and ultimately find out a little bit too odd, and she's just trying to sort of have a connection with him, right? And he starts to have some romantic feelings for her, and he's not sure how she's reciprocating, because at times it seems that she does as well, but at times she seems to sort of back off. Ultimately, while this is all happening for Edward, he goes under a medical treatment in order to treat his disfigurement, and I won't get any further into it because I think this is a movie you just have to go into not knowing much about it, but I think the poster can kind of like give you a hint at what happens next, but I don't want to give spoilers in here in the review. But Sebastian Stan really plays this character so well of Edward, or later known in the movie as Guy, because there's so many aspects of his like psyche that he explores here, from the feelings of not belonging to sort of feeling like they're on top of the world now, and then going back into that shy, meek manner that Edward acts at the beginning, and just going back and forth between all of these feelings and showcasing this very raw emotion. There's a bedroom scene here that I think Sebastian Stan just plays so well, and it is so shocking, it is so under your skin the way he does it, and it just makes you think about like a lot. Adam Pearson in here as well is great. The moment he just pops on the screen is just like glowing, like he is taking full on the scenes and just making them his, and you really can't help but to be drawn to his character and his charisma throughout, and I really love the performance he gives alongside Sebastian Stan. Some of the most funniest moments that I saw all at Fantastic Fest between these two and Adam Pearson himself. It is just such a well done role that Sebastian Stan and Adam Pearson delivers in A Different Man. Now, I do think that the film does have its flaws here and there, because it does have these wild tonal shifts at times, and there's moments when it makes sense to have this sort of adverse reaction to what's going on with a shift that happens in the film, but then there are times where it just becomes a little bit too much. It becomes a little bit too tedious, as well as the film continues to go on and on and on with its ending, and you're just wondering like, okay, like I don't know, where are we going with this? What is the big sort of like epiphany we're about to have, right? And it just seems like we don't have that at all, and the film just ends finally, and you're just like, oh, I guess that was it. But that's just a minor thing with me. I still think that this film is a great story. It's an interesting one. It really makes you think about so many aspects of your own life as well, sort of the things that we see as our weaknesses and others may see as our strengths, and sort of how we perceive the world sees us and how the world really does perceive us. That's a big thing about this film, is that you sort of feel like you know what would make your life that much better, and then it finally comes, but did it really make your life that much better if inside you're still that same person, even though the outside and everything else around you has changed. And I thought that was such a great premise here, but I feel like it's quickly abandoned to go into more of a shock factor. That's just my opinion on it, but I don't know. Overall, I still got to give it to Adam Pearson. Such a great actor. I hope we see more of him in future films. Sebastian Stan was great. Renate, of course, is always amazing, and I really am excited to see more of this group here that made this film possible, from Aaron Schimberg to the cinematographer Wyatt Garfield, and also Sebastian Stan, Renate Reinsve, and Adam Pearson. Amazing work. I think that this film should have gotten some more marketing, because honestly I was shocked that it had even come out, because I didn't see much of it online even, and I don't even know if it was on TV. I don't watch cable that much, but I think that this film would have been pretty good, because it does feel like a classic, early 2000s, late 90s, thriller, and it does have some amazing performances. So I think this would have done pretty good with a bit more marketing. But nonetheless, if you find it anywhere playing near you, I definitely do recommend it. It is such a great film. Just amazing acting, and I really love the music in it. It is so haunting, and it doesn't overpower the film either. It just really flows with it so well. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I watched it at Fantastic Fest. If you get the chance to watch it, definitely watch it. But like I said, in its final act, it really does get a bit tedious, and it just continues on, and just when you think it ends, it continues on, and then it continues on. That was my only problem with it. I feel like it had a very good ending at one point where it really would have driven that point, and then it just continued. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I always feel like that with a lot of movies, though. I feel like they never know when to end, but I still enjoyed it for the acting here. It is so great, and I really do love a lot of the cinematography as well. It is so beautifully lit. But anyways, as always, check out our video we did on The Exorcist, talking about the origins of the case that inspired the Exorcist film. We do have a video on the production of The Exorcist coming out later this week, and a ton of other stuff for spooky season. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. 35,000 subscribers is the goal, and I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.